Hi everybody and welcome to NJPW Extra. I'm Chris Charlton, as always here in the NJPW Event Center to bring you all the action from around the world in New Japan Pro Wrestling this week. We've had the start of Best of the Super Juniors, we're rebounding from Capital Collision in Washington DC, and we've got a fantastic match for you here today. It is an extra exclusive as we go back to Windy City Riot in April in Chicago, and Wheeler Yuta teaming with Rocky Romero to take on the LA Dojo's KevinKnight and the DKC. That's still to come, but first, let's take a look at what's happening in New Japan Pro Wrestling around the world this week. The biggest headline coming out of a wild night in Washington DC at Capital Collision was the birth of another new IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion in the form of Juice Robinson. Juice was able to take advantage of a chaotic four-way environment in Washington DC. An incredible match that had the fans on their feet would end with Hiroshi Tanahashi sending Jon Moxley through a table with a high-fly flow, leaving Will Ospreay and Juice inside. Just as Ospreay went for the hidden blade, Juice Robinson sent the referee flying and delivered a low blow before the rock slide. But the real story in Ospreay's book was his foot breaking the plane of the bottom rope, once again being delivered a harsh decision as Juice Robinson left with the red and gold belt. Meanwhile, Strong this week saw action from the Mutiny series, starting with Ren Narita taking on Chris Dickinson. Narita having gotten a big win over Dickinson early in both men's careers on NJPW Strong, this match would go the 15-minute distance as the two traded strikes and submissions. Narita would get the upper edge and a ground cobra right as time was running out, but didn't have enough on the clock to get a pinfall. New Japan's LA Dojo and AEW's Factory have been at odds since Florida, and Strong style evolved and a new chapter in their rivalry was written. This week on Strong, Carl Fredericks and Clark Connors taking on Aaron Solo and Nick Komoroto. Connors may be the powerhouse of the junior heavyweight division, but Komoroto brought considerable heavyweight power to control the Wild Rhino for a considerable amount of the match. Eventually though, Clark would escape an elbow drop and kick away Solo in order to bring in Carl Fredericks. The match would break down thanks in no small part to QT Marshall running interference on the floor until he was chased off by Yuya Uemura, and in the end it was Aaron Solo left inside with Clark Connors taking a spear and then the trophy kill for a big win for the LA Dojo. After the match, QT Marshall would take the mic and take on the Hollywood crowd, who would ensure that he was still barely audible as he issued a challenge for a singles match with Carl Fredericks at some point in the future. The main event though saw the United Empire continue their American campaign as Aaron Henare, TJP and the Great Okan took on Mascara Dorada, Taylor Rust and Brody King. Just as he did in his first Best of the Super Juniors match, TJP effectively dictated the pace against Mascara Dorada until a double dropkick brought in Brody King. The path of violent destruction was wrought until Great Okan was able to take down the big bad, and as the match broke down, it was Taylor Rust and Aaron Henare. Rust managed to secure the Gaia lock briefly, but was broken up by the Dominator, and then Henare landed the Berserker Bomb, and then the Imperial Drop with Great Okan to pick up the victory. After the match, TJP would unmask Mascara Dorada again, sending a message and ensuring that there is a lot of unfinished business between TJP and Dorada when the Public Enemy returns from his Best of Super Junior excursion. Indeed, over in Japan, all the talk is on Best of the Super Junior 29, as coverage continues live English ringside on NJPWWorld.com. A spectacular opening night in Nagoya before Hiromu Takahashi and Taiji Ishimori completed the night on 2 points apiece. Meanwhile, a lot of surprises on the first night of B Block saw a terrible night for the champions in Sakata City. Still holding the G-Rex Championship, El Lindemann being shocked by Doki, Ring of Honor Pure Champion Wheeler Yuta, the victim of a flash pin from Robbie Eagles, and IWGP Junior Tag Champion Master Wato being schooled by TJP, while El Fantasma and El Desperado also started their campaigns with successes. All of that action coming up live with ringside English coverage as we stay on the road to the big-time finals June the 3rd in Nippon Budokan. Indeed, business is booming for Bullet Club ever since Washington, D.C. and Capital Collision, and that is the plan for the group going into Dominion Osaka-jo Hall this June, just a few weeks away. Jay White will be challenging Kazuchika Okada for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship and could well be bringing that belt with him when NJPW Strong returns to the Vermont Hollywood for Ignition June the 19th. Tickets on sale right now, njpw1972.com. You are definitely going to want to be there just a few days away before AEW and NJPW present Forbidden Door in the United Center in Chicago on pay-per-view. Anything could happen in the Vermont. Make sure you're there. A little bit more of a mixed week this week though for Wheeler Yuta. The Ring of Honor Pure Champion had a difficult start to his Best of the Super Juniors campaign against Robbie Eagles. And he was a big part of that match was the confusion. Is Wheeler Yuta part of Blackpool Combat Club? Is he part of Chaos? Well, now he's fully part of the BCC. But on April 16th in Windy City Riot in Chicago, he was part of Chaos as he teamed with Rocky Romero, taking on the LA Dojo's KevinKnight and the DKC.
Get in the ring. Let's go. Let's go. Ready? Go. Tag! Rocky's in. Yuta, you're out of the ring. Come on. 1, 2.
Hey, DKC, come on.
Hey,
Double suplex. Let's go.
come on, Yuta. You're not legal. You're out of the ring. Go, come on.
Not that kind of suplex, man. Suplex. Get him up, DK. Here we go. Bring him over to the corner. Bring him over. Here we go. Get him. Get him. Let's go, baby. LA Dojo. Come on, Rock. Come on. Come on, Rocky. Oh. Come on, Rocky. Oh. Oh. Oh yeah, baby. Rocky, kick it. Come on, Rocky. Lay your ass down.
Tag! DK's in. Out of the ring, Kevin. Come on. 1 to 1 out. Out of the ring.
Oh yeah, let's work him. Come on, Rocky.
1, 2.
Yes. Let's go.
Rocky.
Work him, DKC.
Come on, Rock.
Work him. Come on, Rock. Let's go. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Yeah. Yep. Rock, you want him in? Huh? Yeah, come on. Ah. You want him in? Yeah. Up. Ah.
1, 2.
There you go. Keep him grounded. Keep him grounded. Yeah. Come on, Rocky. Come on, Rocky. Come on. No. Take him, kid. No. 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 Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. There it is. Whoa. Up. Ah. There you go, kid. There you go. Yeah. Up. Ah.
Alright, some fantastic action to round up another fantastic episode of NJPW Extra. We'll be back next week with all the latest happenings in Japan, in the USA, in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Until next time, go kigenyo, sayonara.